Hey, so I'm checking in. 8 days ago, it was my 6-week post-op mark that I hit, and that was when I went to see my surgeon for my 6-week follow-up. I had x-rays the day before, so that she had current x-rays to check on the bone graft, and yeah, everything went well. She told me I no longer had to wear the sling. It was immobilized for the 6 weeks in the sling, so didn't have to wear it anymore at night, during the day, which is great. I did notice just having my arm hanging by my side was tiring, the first few days especially. So just letting it swing in like circles by my side both ways. I've been doing that just to loosen up the muscles. Physio was pretty tame last week. I had physio the next day just to get going with it right away, and it was pretty tame. It's a little bit of a frustrating period for me where I'm really ready mentally to get back to life and strengthen my shoulder, but it's baby steps with this kind of surgery, the open Latarjet I had in the front and a posterior labrum repair. So I'm definitely not trying to push anything, although life pushes me a little bit, being a single mom. I feel like I overdo it more than I should, but trying to baby this shoulder and not use it. I was told by the surgeon, no pushing, pulling, or lifting any weight bearing for right now, and then physio was basically just instructing me to take a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball or whatever you have and roll my bicep muscle and my forearm to take some of the tension that was in these muscles. They were pretty tense. And I was also told maybe 5% pressure, starting some pushing against my hand. Make sure my shoulder blade is my shoulder's back and shoulder blade is down. And you could use a wall or just use your hand, and then about 5% pressure, so pretty tame. And then release, maybe do that 5 times, do that 3 times a day, so that you can build up that strength on the external part of the shoulder. And today, so I had my second physio appointment. I was instructed as well to include visualization, which sounds a little bit obscure maybe, but for someone like me that's dealt with an injury or an ongoing, chronic problem with my shoulder over the years, it's been about 11 years, there are actual, neuro pathways that are in my brain and, telling me to guard this shoulder, and there's fear and a little bit of anxiety. These feelings kind of pop up when I maybe revisit times that I've injured it, or it's, come out of the socket and I had to deal with that situation. It's happened so many times that, yes, I do have, a little bit of anxiety behind it. And by going into the visualization today, I noticed it stirred up a lot of feelings for me, which I was surprised actually how much I had to breathe through those feelings of, and this was just me visualizing my arm coming up. I started very slow. Ultimately, the goal is to, get to the point where you can bring your arm all the way up and around, just like you would if it hadn't been injured, and be doing things confidently. You could start with maybe simple tasks like driving without any pain, and then moving into maybe sports and other things that you would be using your arm for. So by visualizing, I was told at least 3 times a day for 5 to 10, maybe 15 minutes, whatever I have available, to work on this visualization. Your eyes can be closed at first if it's easier, but they do not have to be closed to do this. And so you could be waiting at a stoplight, or even while you're driving, just be thinking about the movements in your arm. This would work for any area of your body, and to create new positive pathways in your brain when you think about your arm and the movements it will be going through. So a lot of studies being done on, yes, you can psychologically how that affects a chronic injury area of your body, and you can do as many exercises and strengthening that you can, if you still have that connection that is, you know, driven out of fear or anxiety, it can complicate things or cause you to injure yourself again. So that's pretty interesting. I'm going to give it a go. This is like my part-time work right now, really. It's taking care of my son and healing. Otherwise, just intense like scar tissue work. Well, for the actual incision marks for me, the other scar tissue work right now is just through my physiotherapist. So she'll be doing some work by moving my arm. But I was massaging oil into them and, you know, giving them what I thought was a good massage, but apparently it wasn't aggressive enough. The surgeon grabbed one of the scars where the scope had been there and really pinched it. It's quite uncomfortable. It's sore. She said, pinch it as hard as you can until it's like red. Maybe, you know, squeeze it back and forth. It's really uncomfortable. And then let go. You know, might turn a little bit red, leave it, and then do that again and again and again. So I should be doing this as many times, 3+ times a day, to break up that scar tissue. And you can feel, or I can feel how deep the incision went, how deep the scar tissue is. And so it's something I was only doing maybe once a day, so I've been told to bring it up a notch. So this, along with the visualization, a little bit of isometrics with that pressure against my hand or a wall, and then also while laying on my back, in the future I will record myself doing some physio exercises while I'm on the floor if I need to, but for now, just for ease of not getting into that position for this video, laying on my back, shoulder blade is against the ground then, and taking my strong arm, taking my weak arm's hand in that hand, stretching it out, and then lifting my right arm with my left, my strong. So my right arm's completely relaxed, and with the guidance, with the support of my left, I will be lifting it up and coming to whichever point I feel like I can. Sometimes then I reach a point where I become guarded and I feel like I need to stop. But repeatedly doing that, repeatedly doing that, until I gain some more range of motion. So that's it for today. I will keep you up to date with further exercises and hope you had a great day. Bye.